Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Kieran Focus podcast. As I said last week, I'm going to keep up with this interview style while we are in lockdown. I might go back to the original style once competitions are back, I'm not sure. So, in this episode, we have Kieran Beahan.
Woo! Hello, everybody.
So, Kieran is the current European record holder for 6x6 and 7x7 and 5x5 as well.
Yeah, don't forget 5x5.
Yeah, and he's the European champion for 6 and 7.
Incorrect, Chris. Get your
Am
facts
I
right.
not? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 5 and 6.
5
not
and
7.
6. Okay.
I was hoping to get 7 this year, but obviously that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and then you got third for 4x4 and second for 7x7.
That's it.
And you placed second for 7x7 at Worlds 2019 and third for 6x6.
That's correct.
Yeah, so he's had a total of 37 Continental records. He's been battling it out with Sebastian Via for many years now. And yeah, so you've currently got 6 Continental records, is that correct?
Yeah, so 6 different current ones.
Yeah. Right, so yeah, what have you been up to during lockdown? Have you still been working?
So I was working for a while. I was balancing work in college and cubing.
Yeah.
But then I decided to quit work so I could focus on just college and cubing.
Yeah.
And then, like 2 weeks after I quit work, all the competitions got cancelled and college was called off. And my work wasn't called off, so maybe if I had stayed, I could have kept going, but I wasn't to know at the time. But I'm still doing my college work. I'm just doing it from home now, and of course,
Yeah.
I'm still practicing. I'm just not going to competitions, so I'm
Yeah.
still keeping busy.
Have you been practicing anything specific recently?
Over the past couple of days, I got the MGC 4x4, so it's been a bit more 4x4 than usual. But 5 and 6 are still like my main ones, and then a bit of 3 and 7 as well, where I can.
How is the MGC 4x4? I haven't heard anybody talking about it yet.
I really like it. It's got to be my new main. Now, my main beforehand was the full-size Wu tray, so it was pretty easy to upgrade. I didn't get any of the Moyu 4x4s, and I didn't really like the Valk 4. But yeah, I really like it, and it's almost identical in feel to the 5x5. So if you have an MGC 5x5, it's like exactly the same, just a 4x4.
I might get one of those. Right, so you're obviously maining big cubes at the moment. Have you always practiced big cubes primarily, or what sort of other events have you practiced lots?
When I first started cube, my main event I think was 2x2.
Yeah.
That we're talking back in like 2011, 2012. My first national record for Ireland was a 2x2 average of 6 seconds. And then after that, I mained Pyraminx. And then Pyraminx was my first top 50 in the world rank. And I think I got up to 11th in the world for average.
Oh, wow.
But by the time that had happened, big cubes had started to take over a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think pretty much throughout 2014 going into 2015 is when I really mained big cubes.
Yeah. And then you've been maining them since then?
Yeah. I tried some other stuff, especially when I hit a brick wall on big cubes, but once I got past that wall, it's been pretty much all big cubes.
So, as lots of people know you for using Yao on big cubes as well. When did you make that switch, and why did you?
So, for big cubes on 5x5 anyway, I done it in different stages, so I didn't switch all at once. I switched on 5x5 first, and then 6x6, and then 7x7. I think it was sort of spring 2017. I started doing Yao and Redux and realized my Yao times were getting really close to my Redux times. So I invested a little bit in it, and I thought, if I do really good and this works well, I could switch to it. And I got my first official sub 1 average on Redux in competition. And after that happened, I was like, okay, my goal with Redux is done. I'm just going to switch now. and then I used Yao for Worlds 2017 in Paris.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until a year later, in like April 2018, that I switched on 6x6. It was it was just one day, and I just said, oh, I'll just try Yao on 6x6, and it was immediately the same as my Redux times. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm switching to this now.
Yeah.
And then again, it wasn't until I think September that year, so you're talking 5 months later, that I switched on 7x7.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of built up along the way, and it wasn't all just one switch overnight. I made sure like I didn't switch until my times on Yao were as good as my times on Redux.
Yeah. We've just got Kieran's mic changed because his last one wasn't great. Yeah, it should be better now. So yeah, so you gradually changed to Yao, and have you, like, doing Redux solves, like, have you done any recently, and like what sort of time difference do you get?
I think I wouldn't do it regularly. Sometimes if I was practicing with like Seb or something at a comp, we would do like a little fun challenge where he would do Yao and I would do Redux, and we would race. And my time is usually like, I think I can average sub 50 on 5x5.
Okay.
But it's still like 5 seconds behind my Yao times.
Yeah.
And I think for 6x6, I'm much faster on Yao. 7x7, because it's a little bit bigger, I think the time difference is, I think I can average like 215 or 220 with Redux. But my Yao times are like sub 205, so it's, I could, I'm sure, get faster with Redux. It's just that I haven't practiced it in so long.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So, when did you get your first Continental record?
So my first Continental record was actually at the first competition I ever organized.
Oh, wow.
It was Irish Champs 2015, which was the first ever Irish Champs. I organized it in my school, which is about a 5-minute walk from my house. And it was like this sort of, it was like during the spring of 2015, and my goal was a European record. And I think Irish Champs was really my first proper opportunity to get it. And because I was the organizer, I put 2 rounds of 6x6, even though it completely wasn't necessary. And then I completely, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but I completely fucked up the first round. And then the second round was literally right after the first round. So I was like, oh boy, the first round was horrible, but this has got to be just as bad. But then I managed to pull it out of the fire, and I think I got Europe's first sub to 6x6 mean.
Oh wow,
pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So you then didn't get another Continental record until Worlds 2017.
Yeah, that was the brick wall.
Oh, okay.
Implying, I think 2016 was maybe like after I got my European record. Like, it's obviously a great high, but it's also a great low when you lose it. And I lost it like 3 weeks after I broke it, which was just like, it was just like devastating because I had worked so hard for it.
Yeah.
And then I just sort of hit a brick wall on big cubes, and it really wasn't until like just before Euros, or maybe a month or two before Euros 2016, that I even really picked up a big cube again.
Yeah.
And then like late 2016, I was still on a brick wall. And then like I was starting to make a couple inroads there during the spring of 2017, leading up to Worlds. And then I had a bunch of competitions planned for summer 2017. So I mapped out how many rounds of 6x6 I was going to have. And I just thought, okay, I'm probably going to get another shot at this. And then I'd done it Worlds finals, which is which is good timing, awesome. Really.
Yeah, and then 2018, 2019, you've just been farming Continental records. Yeah. How long was your streak of Continental records?
So I made it to 10.
That's pretty impressive.
I was going for the Continental streak record, which was 12 by Michal Halchuk. But because I didn't get one at Sydney, that streak broke. If I got one at Sydney, sorry.
Yeah. You had such a good 4x4 result as well, but
That was true. I got sub 20. Still my
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, I guess
That
it.
was overall PB
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, that's insane.
But yeah, it was the streak. I think the the comp that really started the farming was probably Dublin Open 2017,
Yeah.
where I broke 5, 6, and 7 single, all in like one comp.
Only singles.
Only singles, yeah. And like before this, it was just the two 6x6
Yeah.
in Worlds and our champs. And then that was the end of 2017. And then I think I broke 13 in 2018, and then 19 last year.
Yeah. Wow. That's impressive. So you spoke about that brick wall you hit in around 2016. Do you reckon switching to Yao was one of the reasons you moved past that brick wall, or was it just a coincidence it was around that time?
No, I think it was just a coincidence because I didn't, like I was saying earlier, I didn't switch to Yao on 6 and 7
Yeah.
until like 28.
Oh,
And
okay.
by
Yeah.
that point, I had already passed the brick wall. 5 by 5, no, I don't think it really made a difference.
Okay.
I just, like, I'd hit a brick wall on 3 by 3 and 4 by 4 as well. And
Yeah.
like, I'd already switched to Yao and 4 by 4. I think it
Yeah.
was just, I don't really know what it was. I think once I got sponsored by the Cubicle and they started sending me some pretty good cubes, then my time started to drop and the brick wall was just destroyed by then.
Yeah, definitely. So, out of all your continental records, or just national records, or any records in general, what would you say is like was your most memorable, your favorite?
I have like, there's a lot that I've broken that like, um, I don't know, I'd watch the videos back on loop because I
Yeah.
like them a lot.
Yeah.
But I think I can't really pick one. If you put a gun to my head and told me to pick one, it would probably be my 38.96 in World's 5
Oh
by
yeah,
5
that
finals.
was incredible.
Yeah, that's. But like there's so many. It was so, like, my first one especially because it was like I
Yeah.
walk past that school like whenever I leave my house, and it's just like I
Yeah.
can point at that school and say that's where my first one. That was really cool. And
Yeah,
then my
that's
first
quite
5
cool.
by 5 single as well at Dublin Open because it was my most unexpected one. It's the only
Yeah.
one that I really got that I wasn't expecting, and that was a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple that stand out. But if you told me to pick one, probably be that 38.96.
So, coming into Euros 2018, your main goal was to make, well, one of your main goals was to make 3x3 finals, wasn't it?
It was, yeah,
Oh yeah, and
because
I remember after the third round, after semi-finals, you didn't get a great average. It was low 8 or something.
I think it was like a 8.3, 8.4 average, and like
Yeah.
going by the second round, like that would have just missed. And you see, I was trying to get, I missed it in 2016, like barely.
Yeah.
Like I barely missed finals in 2016. And then in Worlds 2017, I made the cut for the final in the second round, but then missed it in the semis.
Oh
So
no.
like I still hadn't made like a major final, even
Yeah.
though I'd only been to like two majors. But yeah, one of my big goals, actually my only real goal for 3 by 3 was to make the final.
Yeah.
And I
So
remember you were next to me.
yeah, yeah. We were
Uh,
both watching the results being inputted, and we got told to go away because we were being too loud.
Ronald wasn't happy with us. We
Yeah,
were
Ronald
distracting
really
him a
wasn't
little bit.
happy. But yeah, that was crazy once we realised you had got in.
Yeah, but like my performance in that final was it was meh. Like I started out with I think two good sevens, and then the
Yeah.
finish was a little bit weaker.
I mean, you
But it
still
was
got
one of
8th
those
in the
things.
final, which is pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
that's true. But it was one of those things where I didn't really care about my results. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make it. And
Yeah.
then once I made it, it was just like whatever happened.
Yeah, so on all cubes, but 3x3 especially, you're a green only solver.
That's correct.
Why? Quite simply.
The answer is actually very simple. I learned how to solve it from Pogobat's YouTube tutorial,
Uh-huh, I
and
haven't heard of that.
that's the same one that like Felix learned to use it from. There's a couple people who've learned to solve it from that tutorial. Well, he uses green in that tutorial, so I think I just sort of stuck with that.
Huh.
I am I am starting to push myself a little bit.
Oh,
Um,
any
so
blue?
so I think dual neutral for two-handed is a real possibility by the end
Okay.
of quarantine.
Yeah.
Starting to push myself on that. But what I'm mainly starting to push myself is color neutral on OH, just because the turning is a little bit slower and I have a little
Yeah.
bit more time to recognize.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't be able to do something like Patrick. Like I wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
brute
that's
force.
crazy. Yeah, well, I talked to him about it last episode, and he just said, "Oh yeah, I just practiced 8 hours a day for 3 weeks, and then that was good."
That, that is not something that I would be able to do.
Ridiculous.
I think I'm just gonna dip my toe into the water and see what
Maybe you should try and go full green or white, orange.
happens. Yeah, up the rat. If anybody gets that reference.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, so what was it like competing in both worlds finals for 6 and 7 and 5x5 as well for 2019?
2019 specifically.
Or just any what's it like trying to hold your nerves and still
Yeah.
perform well?
Well, my first majors was 2016, and I
Yeah.
went into it looking for a podium out of European people because
Yeah.
Kevin and Felix were there, so I didn't think an actual like full-on podium was possible.
Yeah.
And my performance in the first round really wasn't great. Take it in mind, this is like coming towards the end of the brick wall. Like I just started practicing again,
Mhm.
and then I managed to not get overall PB in the final, but it was very close. And like considering the fact that that was my first ever like major final for something that I was good at, it was pretty cool.
That's
And
crazy. So you
that won
won,
me
didn't you?
for, yeah,
Six
I
by
won out of
six.
European people. Yeah, and I made it onto the podium. Felix.
That's
That
that's
I would
that's
say
crazy.
that I would say was a big moment. And if you fast forward to the 6x6 finals of Worlds 2017, that's where I got my second European record. So like I it was tough holding my nerves in, but I don't know, it's a different level of nerves. Like in a local comp I'll get really nervous and shaky, but in a majors finals, I think there's just so much pressure that I almost become immune to it. And it's just I just go up there and I'm just like, all right, I'm not that nervous anymore because like it's been so much pressure and I don't really, not that I don't care anymore, but like I don't know, it just sort of went away whenever the
It's like
major
you're
final.
expecting to be nervous, and then suddenly you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It was a really weird feeling,
that's
but it
crazy.
was Worlds 2019 as well was like because I just missed out on podium in 2017. It
Yeah.
was like months leading up to it. It was all I could think about was just like I wanted the podium, and thankfully, like on the day, same thing. The nerves just sort of went away, and I managed to podium in 7.
Yeah, that's crazy. Watching Big Cube finals was so much fun. It was probably like one of my highlights from the whole competition.
Yeah, 6 and 7 or just
Yeah,
five
probably
by
yeah,
five.
6 and 7 and 5x5 as well. Watching that 38 was ridiculous.
The UK crowd was pretty cool for that. I was the scrambler at Leeds 20
Ooh,
for your NR average. Remember that?
yes, I do. Surprisingly, I do remember that.
But it was like 3 cells in, and you were in the waiting area, and I had just gotten your scorecard back for the fourth scramble. And I looked at your times, and I looked at you, and you looked at me,
Yeah.
and we just made eye contact, like we both know what's going on.
I can actually see your signature. I got the scorecard from James Malloy a month after Leeds, because that's how long they have to hold the scorecards for. So
Yeah.
I've got the scorecard and I've got it in a frame on my wall, and I can see your signature for the second one and the fourth one. There's no
Did you
signature for the last one.
do you keep like many like trophies or puzzles like on the shelf just like for display?
Not really. I am meaning to get like a shelf up to hang my medals and put my trophies on, but
Yeah.
I've never got around to it. I've been collecting quite a few medals recently. Now we seem to get medals a lot more in the UK.
Yeah, trophies as well. So there's trophies for Leeds as well.
Oh yeah, there was. Well, it was trophies for first place, and then medals for podium.
Okay.
I still can't
Did
believe
you
you stole my trophy at Leeds.
Yeah, I didn't get the trophy. I left.
Oh yeah, because you went in the slow group and then left.
Yeah, so I haven't got that trophy. I don't know where it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's such a shame that Euros 2020 has been cancelled. Like, I was going to be on the stream team with James Malloy, David Lim, and Bertie Longdon. And that was going to be that was going to be good fun.
That would have been really cool, but damn.
Yeah.
I wish it could have been rescheduled. Like, I can understand like why it's not going in. Like, nothing can really go ahead, but maybe if they tried to reschedule it for the end of the year, I don't know. Maybe I'm just grasping string.
Yeah.
It's just really this.
Or even just reschedule for next year.
Oh, well, Worlds is next year, though.
Yeah, I guess. But we don't really have plans for Worlds yet, so I'm pretty sure they could have just easily just delayed everything by a year.
I wouldn't. I'd prefer Worlds.
Yeah, that's true.
I think like people are putting in bids now.
Yeah. Where do you think Worlds is going to be next year?
It will be between Denmark, South Korea, and
Denmark.
I think so. This is like, I don't know. Maybe you should.
So they held Euros in 2014, right?
They did, yeah. No,
So
I have no confirmed info, so maybe you should cut this out. I don't know, but I think I've seen signs that Denmark are maybe putting in a bid.
I heard rumors that they might have it in the venue they were going to have North American champs in Toronto, because apparently that venue was pretty big, so they were just going to use all their planning from this year and then apply for Worlds.
I thought the competitor limit for that though was like 800.
I think that's good enough.
I think if you're holding it, like all of America to go, and I would say at least over 1,000 if you want a Worlds venue.
Well, maybe they'd just like make it more of a squeeze and charge loads for parents and stuff.
Maybe they could do, but I don't know. I think Worlds will probably be announced by September.
Yeah.
That's when Melbourne. So it's just a guessing game until then, really.
I think they're trying to announce stuff more they're just earlier. I heard that they were going to start doing it so at a major, so like at Euros they announced Worlds, and at Worlds they announced Euros and North American champs and Asian champs and stuff.
Yeah. That would work really cool because
like the winner of 3x3 announces it or something.
That would be really cool. That would make me want to win 3x3. Because usually we'd have to wait for like 2 months until after every majors. And Shemats doesn't usually get announced until like 6 months before it happens either.
Yeah. Like we announce competitions like 10 months before they happen over here. I think Hertfordshire Spring was announced like last summer, and it didn't even happen.
Rip. I think it's Australia has the record now for like the furthest away announced competition. I think they have a 2021 competition.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. Yeah, at the start of the year, they literally announced all of their competitions for 2020, which is pretty nuts.
More than half have probably been cancelled.
Yeah. They've been going ham over there with organisation. Like,
did you see the 20 events or 20 rounds in 20 hours?
2020. Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
I don't know if that's going ahead anymore, but
I
it'd be pretty cool
think it's cancelled.
See, I wonder if you could like find some way to implement social distance at like competitions. Like if you have a competitor limit of like 50 people. Like this is for a region.
Well, just judging. I feel like, and because of, I mean, I guess you could scramblers could wear gloves and stuff, but Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know when my next competition is going to be. My biggest gap, I think, was 9 months since I started competing, and that was UK Champs 2016 up until Crawley Open 2017. It was
Jeez,
about
that's a
nine
big
months.
gap.
Yeah, no,
I
that was during the wall, so the brick wall. So I didn't
yeah.
really have much of a need to go because I wouldn't have beaten my official PBs by that much anyway. But
I don't think I've ever had a break that long. It's generally just been like December into March, because
yeah,
for a few years all the competitions early in the year were like Manchester and stuff,
yeah.
and my parents didn't want to drive up there, and I didn't want to like travel on my own, so I never
You
did
traveled
that.
on your own to Australia, did you?
No, my dad came with.
No. But then you got sick.
Yeah,
Never
then I
mind.
got sick. At least I didn't spend my own money on flights. I spent money I won at Red Bull.
I had to spend my own money on flights. It was quite expensive,
Yeah, it
but
was very expensive.
I went on my own. Like that was my first like far away trip by myself. I gone to competitions in the UK by myself,
Yeah,
but that to Melbourne was like the first time I had left the Europe in like years.
yeah. So have you ever been to America?
Once I was 9 years old, and it was a like family trip to Orlando, Florida, to see like all the amusement parks and
Huh.
all that. And then we stayed there for I think 3 weeks,
Oh
three
wow.
whole weeks, and then we headed back. Yeah, that was 2009 though, so like I haven't been there in a long time. And I
Yeah,
was planning on going to New York, going to the Cubicles office, and going to DC, but
yeah.
that's all been in the back for the time being.
I just find it crazy that I visited a continent I'd probably never go to because of cubing. Like
Yeah,
if I didn't qualify for the Red Bull competition, I don't think I'd ever go to America.
what?
I mean,
Why
unless there
not?
was a Worlds there, it's just like my parents have never really wanted to go there, and before cubing, I'd never see myself going to America. Really, it's like I'd rather just travel Europe, I think.
We have completely different perspectives. Because like I only quit my job recently and I didn't really spend any money, so like I was looking up things that I could do, and like,
Yeah,
do you know that you can go to Antarctica? Like you can pay money to go to Antarctica,
my aunt
and
and uncle went there recently. They were,
recent
yeah, they were traveling in South America, in like Peru and Chile, and then
yeah
they got a ferry into Antarctica from like the
yeah
south of Chile.
that's what I was looking at. I think it goes from like Buenos Aires or something, and it's like six
Yeah, yeah.
grand. But like you'd be in Antarctica. But like
I know, it's so cool.
I would have gone to Australia anyway. I'm gonna go to America like again anyway, and
I
I've
do want
probably
to
got
go
like
to I do want to go to a proper competition in America.
you do want to go to a proper
Yeah,
competition,
yeah,
so like nationals.
yeah. Or worlds if there's one soon.
I
But yeah,
don't think they're putting in a bid for next year.
yeah.
From what
Well, if they have like worlds in Canada or something, then I might go to America afterwards.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. Oh, another thing about my aunt and uncle. After they got back from Antarctica, they almost got stuck in Chile or something.
Why?
they got like one of the last flights back before lockdown.
Before lockdown. Ooh.
Yeah, they so nearly got
That's
stuck
tricky.
out there.
I was in I was in Hamburg there like at the start of last month,
Yeah,
and that was probably like a week maybe before lockdown, or maybe
yeah,
I remember the school we had it in closed down. Like they were supposed to be in school the next day after the competition finished, but then they just completely cancelled school. So like I still would have been able to get home all right, but it was just like that was the like I was away when it was starting to get really, really serious.
yeah. Didn't they start? Didn't the school say you weren't allowed to? They weren't allowed to have the second day originally.
Yeah, actually that we were so we competed on the first day and like nothing was wrong. didn't really suspect anything. And then on Saturday night, a couple of us went to Burger King,
Yeah.
and I think two of the organizers was there, and then I think Henry Gerber and Glib, they both got an email at the same time from the school saying that they pulled out for the second day. So
Yeah.
from that, it was like the second day is not going to happen. And I called my mom and I was like, "Mom, I might be coming home tomorrow instead," like, because I didn't think I was going to stay there. I was just going to go straight home if there wasn't going to be a competition.
Yeah.
I went back to my Airbnb, but the organizers, to their credit, stayed up until I think 4 a.m, like
Jeez.
emailing the school, and they made an agreement that if all the competitors on the Sunday signed like a contract saying that they would not sue the International School of Hamburg if they got coronavirus, and if they signed it, then they would be able to do the second day, and that's what happened.
Wow.
We had to put our signature down saying that we wouldn't sue the International School of Hamburg.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but then like that was only the start of it. Like, thank God I wasn't like at a competition like when all of the competitions were cancelled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did have a couple planned out though. Like so I was an organizer for Cork Open last year,
Yep.
and we had organized the next version of it for 2020 in the same venue, and then we had to cancel that. And then I think I was going to go to Brussels as well for a pure big cube comp, just 3 rounds of 6 and 7. Sadly, that got cancelled. And I was also almost going to go to Moscow
Oh,
for
wow.
CCC because
they had like a 4-day comp, didn't they?
I wasn't too sure, but it was a lot of prize money. And
Yeah.
looking at the site sheet, I was like 100% confident that I would make my money back from the trip by
That's
winning the prize
crazy.
money. So like this was like 6 weeks out that I discovered this, and I was gonna get like a Russian visa, and then the situation looked a little bit serious. So I said, if this gets worse and it gets cancelled, then I might not be able to get a refund for all my flights and stuff. So I
Yeah.
decided not to book anything, and that turned out to be a good decision in the end.
Had
But I did
you
have
had you
sorry,
booked flights for North American champs?
that's what I was just about to go on to.
Oh, there you go.
I had, yeah. I booked all my flights. I hadn't. Initially, my plan was to go from Dublin to Toronto, then
Yeah.
compete in North American Champs, and then go to New York and DC for like a week and a half. Then
Yeah.
I was going to go straight to London for London Open, and then straight from London to Amsterdam for the
Wow.
Euros. So I had booked everything. I hadn't booked the Eurostar over, but I booked my flight from Dublin to Toronto, and then like back from America to London, and
Yeah.
I think it was about €600 in the end, and I didn't
That's
get
pretty good,
insurance.
actually.
Yeah, it was good, but I didn't get insurance, and now
No.
it's probably not going to happen. If the flights are cancelled, I might be able to get my money back. But
Fingers crossed.
I didn't pay for any. I hadn't sorted out any accommodation or anything like that. So
Well, that's lucky.
that's one plus anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Did you have anything booked for future comps?
What was that?
Did you have anything booked for like future comps?
Well, I was quite lucky with Euros actually. So there was a group of us, and we all booked the train over, which was about £100.
Yeah.
And then we were going to book an Airbnb, and we tried to book like 2, but they kept on declining it because we were like a young group or something.
Okay.
And it's super lucky because we wouldn't have been able to get a full refund if it was Airbnb, or we might have not 100% been able to get a full refund.
Yeah, well, I think Airbnb, like, I had booked my Airbnb for Brussels.
Oh yeah, Airbnb have like shut down or something, haven't they?
Yeah, sorry, no, I booked my Airbnb for Strasbourg for Alsace Open.
Yeah.
I think my host's policy was a 50% refund.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't too bothered with, but then because of the crisis, Airbnb also gives people the option of cancelling for 100% refund. That's just credit. So once this is over, you can use all that money for like another Airbnb purchase, which is what I decided to do.
Yeah. But yeah, there is a chance that by July it will be okay, and then Airbnb wouldn't do that. So yeah, luckily we got declined with all our Airbnbs, and we reserved a hotel, so we didn't have to pay until July.
Right,
So
so
we
you
didn't
guys.
yeah, that was quite lucky.
I'd
But
actually now that I think of it, I had planned. I booked my Airbnb for Euros with a couple of French people, like Arthur Garsan, and
yeah,
thankfully though, the host just had 100% refund policy, so I got my money back for that, no
yeah,
problem.
that's great. Yeah, I did lose a hotel for Lincoln Open, which was the same weekend as Cork. Luckily, I hadn't booked anything for Hertfordshire Spring or Colchester.
I'm hesitant to book stuff now. Like, I don't think I'll be
Yeah,
booking
same.
that. Like, I really don't know. I don't know if I'll even be going to the UK like before the end of the year to compete.
Yeah, I've got my fingers crossed that they don't cancel Denmark and Friends, because Denmark have been doing really well recently. They're like reopening stuff kind of soon. Like
I
some of
don't
the
know.
younger kids are back in schools, but I think by then they'll probably be able to hold it. But it's just whether the UK lets us travel or not.
I wouldn't keep your hopes up, man.
Yeah, same. It's like I will be so happy if it happens.
Yeah,
So
I'd be happy if anything.
yeah. So out of your 49 competitions you've been to, what's your like favorite or most memorable?
The Worlds, because I went to Australia and it was by myself and I
Yeah,
achieved all my goals. Like that, everything just really fell into place for that competition. I
yeah,
can't really think of anything, and I think of that trip as like a whole. So I would count Sydney in that,
yeah,
and I would count. I went to Perth for a weekend or a week before that as well, so it was like all one trip. So
yeah,
going to that was really cool. I think Cuthbert's Open 2013 was a pretty cool experience because it was in a shopping center.
yeah. My first
And
competition was 2014 Cuthberts.
I wasn't at that one. It was the
Ah,
2013 was the only one I went to, but competitions like they're the venues for them are like only people who go to the competition see the competitions. Where
yeah, yeah,
Culverts was cool because like you just had the most random people just like shopping and then just coming across and then watching you solve and just
yeah,
looking at their reactions. It was just I had a pretty fun experience competing at that comp. But
yeah,
again, if you had to put a gun to my head, I don't know how I wouldn't say Worlds 2019.
yeah. Right. Well, we've been talking for about 40 minutes now, so that's a pretty nice podcast.
I think so.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on and chatting with me.
I feel very privileged that I'm in the same group as Patrick and Felix to be able to be asked onto this podcast.
It's been cool talking to you.
It's been my pleasure.
So, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get on next week or the week after. I don't know how frequently I'm gonna do this. I'm kind of running out of ideas. But yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, just pop me a message or comment below, and yeah, let me know. So yeah, thanks again to Kieran for coming on, and I'll see you guys soon.